Hi there, it's Steph from GameReviewHQ.net, and today we will be giving a first look at Heroes of the Storm. Before we move on to the main review of the game, let us first get to know more about the game with a short background. After quite a long wait, with plans of launching a special game for all Blizzard heroes that began way back in 2010, the game has finally weathered the storm when it was given the green light for release and was given a new title, from Blizzard All-Stars to Heroes of the Storm. The game was officially on beta on January 2015, and after only a month, 9 million players have already signed up and downloaded the game. Although the game is generally free to download and play, Heroes of the Storm also adopts a freemium model in its gameplay where players may use micropayments in order to purchase some visual alterations to their characters. Set in a place called Nexus, heroes from all across Blizzard games battle against each other in fun, quick, action-packed matches, where team-based play is put on a premium and several unique battlegrounds emerge. And speaking of battlegrounds, let's now talk more about the game's graphics and animation. The graphics used in Heroes of the Storm is really similar to Dota 2 and Tome, a game we also reviewed here. The animations and effects, though, are really nice. Being in the industry for so long, Blizzard really knows how to make their games look pretty despite having simple graphic style. And it's not just the animation. The level of detail you see on the characters, on the environment, and on the skills is pretty high. Impressive so far. There also might be a common trend regarding the graphics quality of these MOBAs. I think they tend to use simple graphic quality to ensure a smoother performance for all players, no matter if they are using a powerful computer or not. Now on to the characters and heroes. Here the game lets you play around with a few heroes, and when I mean a few, I really do mean a few. Well, you're only given a few heroes to try out at first, because there is a free weekly hero rotation that takes place wherein you can try to use 5 heroes out of the game's 34 heroes, although you can have a maximum of 7 for free rotation by leveling up your account level. Then you can purchase other heroes for 2,000 coins or $4 to a maximum of 10,000 coins or $10. You gain these coins slowly while you win games, or you could just skip it and just straight up pay for it. You don't have to go in blind when buying a hero though, because there is a feature in the game that lets you try a hero before you buy it. I believe most people do not notice that here. In the shop screen under the Heroes tab, you can, upon selecting hero, opt to try this. This will launch a test map where you have a mini base and lane just like the actual game. But then the game gives you the option of resetting your levels, enemies, structures, and even cooldowns of all your skills. This is an excellent addition and should be done by most MOBAs out there who will follow this route of unlocking or buying heroes. Just so, I think, so the player won't be punished for buying a hero they don't like. The heroes in the game are similar to other MOBAs in that they have particular roles they fulfill really well. Some are great damage dealers, while some are actually great as support. Unfortunately, unlike other MOBAs I played, I didn't feel most of the characters that the free rotation gave me. The particular character I felt like using was a melee support named Rhaegar. He doesn't have any direct attack skills like other heroes, but he has quite a useful skill set. He has Chain Heal, which heals the primary target and bounces off to others to heal them at a lesser rate. He also has Lightning Shield that surrounds yourself or an ally with an aura that does damage around you. In addition, Rhaegar also uses an Earthbind totem which slows enemies who are around it. Using Rhaegar also gives you a choice of 2 heroic abilities, Ancestral Healing, which heals almost all health of a selected hero, or Bloodlust, which whips everyone around him into a frenzy, thus effectively increasing their attack and movement speed. Not to mention the customization you can put into the previous skills too. My favorite is the Lightning Bond talent for a Lightning Shield. It casts a Lightning Shield on yourself if casted on an ally, thus essentially giving 2 players a Lightning Shield. This does huge damage when used on an enemy sandwiched between 2 players with a Lightning Shield buff. Not to mention the regular attacks and skills the heroes do too. Instead of having a mount, Rhaegar transforms into a Ghost Wolf. Attacking from this form gives bonus damage for up to 200%. A pretty neat hero if you ask me. Unfortunately though, he is a support character and he won't be getting a large amount of skills if compared to the attacking characters, but he is still worth a try. Customization wise, you can select skins for your heroes and a choice of various mounts to ride on when your hero goes from point A to point B. All these are just cosmetic though, and one doesn't really have any significant effect over another. Now for the story. For the story, it is just like in most MOBAs out there. It's almost non-existent. All we are told is that there is a place where worlds collide and heroes do battle. A little digging around and you'd find that this place is actually called Nexus. Aside from that, nothing much is actually said about the game. The game is still in beta though, so I guess they will be probably focusing on gameplay for now. So I guess the developers could follow this later on with more detail when everything is ironed out. Now on to leveling. When it comes to levels, Heroes of the Storm offers 3 types of levels. First is your account level. This level determines unlocking of some features in the game like daily quests, hero rotation slots, and a chance to join the Hero League where you are ranked against other players. Next up is the Hero level. The Hero level is an individual level of a hero you play as. This is sort of like your mastery with a specific hero. Leveling this up will net you more abilities to choose from when you level up in a game, more talents to choose from, some gold, hero portraits or mount variations, and some skins. This is obviously one of the most important things to level up since it opens up a lot of possible combinations for your hero. Last we have the actual in-game level. This level is increased by generally killing things in the map from minions, heroes, until to the enemy structures. However, what is different here is that there is no single hero in the game. All your experience goes to the team experience. Yep, even if you go greedy and hog kills to yourself, you won't be getting all the experience for yourself. Your whole team then will benefit from it. Now we move on to the community. The community is as many MOBAs out there, a bit in the toxic side. Remember, this game allows players to work with complete strangers and that they have to complete a mission in the shortest possible time. Though it is on the toxic side, it is just a little, I think. A loner won't have much success if he isn't helping his team. So far, the ones that I have played with are pretty nice and don't nag as much as in the other games. Maybe I just got lucky with matchmaking. Generally, I think the game has good team-focused people here. Next is gameplay. What separates Heroes of the Storm from other MOBAs? Well, Heroes of the Storm is focused on shorter matches with a huge emphasis on teamwork, even more so than the other MOBAs out there. You see, on each map, there is a quest of sorts that is unique to that particular map. For example, there is a map called Haunted Mines, and the unique quest here is that when the quest is available, you can go around and kill undead miners. Killing them gives you skulls. There is also a huge boss monster there that gives a large number of skulls. During this period of skull hunting, you and the opposing team gather as much skulls as they can, and when all the skulls are collected, a golem spawns for each of the teams. Both golems are tasked to destroy the other team, of course. The difference is that overall power of the golem is actually determined by the number of skulls you or your team were able to collect. If you collected almost all of the skulls, your enemy's golem would be a flimsy one. And then on the other map, where you hold a certain spot and trigger a string of attacks on your enemy's base. In this scenario, you will have also to fight and survive attacks from other heroes and guardians, who will barrage you with attacks as they try to take you out for that spot. There is a lot of variety here when it comes to gameplay. You can rely on your MOBA knowledge and skills, but relying too much on them without focusing on this objective-based game will more often than not punish you for it, especially if the other team knows and coordinates their plans very well. On most maps, there are also a lot of mercenary camps and even a strong boss-like type enemy that hangs out usually at the center of the map. Defeating these camps and monsters and then capturing the territory will spawn those units you just defeated to fight for you. These units are really helpful, especially the siege type, since if you get them to the enemy base, they do substantial amounts of damage to the opposing team's structures. Another thing that sets Heroes of the Storm apart from most MOBAs out there is that there are no items or equipment involved. Instead, they choose to bring the customizable aspect from the item build to skill builds. You choose different augmentations to your skills and or obtain talents. Some of the upgrades you get directly enhance your current skills with more damage and or added effects, thus drastically changing the way you use some of the skills. You also get a choice between one of 2 ultimate skills later on if you have leveled your hero enough. This choice heavily affects your playstyle, so choose wisely. And at later team levels, you get another upgrade for the ultimate skill you chose or get some talents. Talents give you a specific ability that come in the form of active skills like Blink, which teleports you from a short distance, a damage buff for a short time, and passive skills like giving you increased damage when killing minions or heroes, to giving your normal attacks the ability to reduce all skill cooldowns by a small amount. It will take a lot of experimentation to get a good build going on. There is something that some people may find good or bad. It's the in-game level or the team level. I previously mentioned that you have a team level instead of individual hero levels. What this means is even if you're pretty good at MOBAs, you can no longer carry your team as you can in other games. The rest of the team have to be able to pull their own weight. It is really a team effort, I think. So it may be a good and bad thing that snowballing is a thing that you really have to work hard for, especially if the teams use the Battleground special quest effectively. It is really difficult to tell the uniqueness of each MOBAs out there since a lot of them are just copying a formula for now. For microtransactions, the microtransactions in this game is pretty minimal. At first it looks a bit unfair, but if you play a bit of it, you'd notice that it is acceptable since you can earn the heroes just by playing the game. A really good addition I liked is the fact that you can try a hero before you purchase it, so chances of you being hit by buyer's remorse afterwards isn't so high. Aside from buying the heroes themselves, you can also purchase skins for your heroes and more mounts to ride on. Not bad, I think. Now to summarize everything for Heroes of the Storm. For the pros, the game has quicker matches. Heroes of the Storm is one of the MOBAs that have opted to go through the quick match time route. It is a welcome change that this game is a more flexible game in which you can easily play quick matches, complete it, and do something else. Next, it has nice all-around visuals. This being a game from Blizzard, it is easy to understand where the quality comes from. They've been in the business for a really long time, so they know what the fans want, and from all of their well-known franchises, there is no shortage of creativity there. I think they got it easy on this one. Next, Hero Trial System. This is the system that lets you try out a hero before you buy it. What makes things worlds better is the way you can manipulate the levels, enemies, and even the structures in this testing map. Lots of MOBAs nowadays do this thing where you have to unlock or buy a hero. The least they can do is actually let you try out the hero like this so that you really know what you're getting. For me, this is a huge plus for the game. Next, light emphasis on real money. Heroes of the Storm currently offers only heroes, skins, mounts, and experience boosts for purchase and nothing else really that heavily affects gameplay. And the boosts just increase the rate at which you gain experience. You still have to be good at the game and actually play it. The skins you do unlock are pretty good too, and don't forget the coins you can earn. It can buy most things in there too. Next, nostalgia. This is actually what will pull most players in. The game from Blizzard that holds the actual characters from their games. Who wouldn't want to see their favorite characters duke it out with their favorites on the other game, right? Now for the cons. First, hero limitation. When you start a game, you were given 5 free characters to try from a weekly character rotation scheme. You eventually get 2 more when your account level is high enough. You may feel that you were handicapped in your choices. Good for you if you find a hero you really like to use. At least there's the hero trial system, right? Next, some heroes feel a lackluster. This may just be a personal thing, but some of the heroes feel rather empty, or maybe I just don't feel them. But it could be a real thing since this is just beta, and they may have yet to iron out all the wrinkles and perhaps introduce more depth in each character. Next, the lag problem. This one is a big one. You experience random stuttering in-game from an unknown cause. It happens on all the lowest settings. It happens even on all the highest settings. It happens with the capture software turned on or off. Well, I guess it's just there. That is probably just a bug since a search on the internet yields same problems from way back in 2014, and it seems it still hasn't been fixed. This issue could be fixed when the game is officially out, but for now it may really frustrate people, especially when extreme stuttering happens during a heated clash wherein you need accuracy to pull off some moves. So, my conclusion. Heroes of the Storm is another good contender in the MOBA scene. With it bringing new mechanics into a genre that we didn't expect to see it in, it really encourages teamwork among players to properly carry out the special events on each map. However, it is facing some difficulty in ironing out the problems it currently has, like the stuttering and lag. Hopefully it gets fixed soon so that we can all enjoy it as the gem that it is. There are also rumors that a lot more heroes will be added to the game, and of course new maps with their own unique scenarios. But as of now, it is recommended you give this a try if you want a simpler and a more teamwork-focused MOBA. So that's it for my first look of Heroes of the Storm. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time.